Hi everybody, Elizabeth here with Country Peony, and welcome to episode 21 of Coffee and Crafting. I am so excited to have you here. Today we are making one of my favorite things, pom-poms and wreaths. I love making pom-poms, I love making wreaths, because honestly, wreaths are pretty expensive, and I adore having wreaths on my interior doors as well as my exterior doors. If you're ever wanting to look for a lot of wreath inspiration, please check out my blog, countrypeony.com. But before we get started, I wanted to introduce myself again. My name's Elizabeth, and I'm with Country Peony, and Country Peony is a DIY and craft blog in Texas that focuses on simple and whimsical crafts and spaces. So I would love to know where you're coming from, and just shoot me a hi or a heart, just so I know that you're here, and I'm so excited to craft with you today. So today we are going to be making this really fun pom-pom heart wreath. So, true story. I made this, I think about 4 years ago, and it is my second most popular blog post on the blog of all time. It's my #1 most popular tutorial for Valentine's Day, so I thought it'd be really fun to bring it back around. If you check out the description below, you can see the original blog post. So if you miss anything today, don't worry, the original blog post is there, as well as all of the tools and supplies that you will need for today's project. All of it is linked below, and if you have any questions, you can ask me here, or you can send me a message. So thank you again for being here. I cannot wait to get started. So let's get started. So for this project, one of the reasons that I love making pom-poms is because they're very simple and you don't need a lot of tools or supplies. So all you're going to need is some yarn. I prefer to do a bulky weight yarn for pom-pom making, so anywhere like a size 6 would be great. And then you're going to need these heart wreaths forms, and honestly, I get mine from Dollar Tree. So I spend $1.25 anytime I'm in Dollar Tree. I always check the crafting section for wreath forms, and their heart wreath form is great. This is what I use. And then the real key players today are Clover's pom-pom makers. I've done so many blog posts on Clover's pom-pom makers because they're my favorite way to make a pom-pom. And if you're curious about pom-pom making and making them into wreaths, I also created an ebook, which is in the description below if you want to check it out. But today we are using their 45 and their 65 sizes. So that's the yellow and this pretty blue. And we're going to be making 2 different sizes of pom-poms for our wreath, which we're making behind me today. And then key to a fun pom-pom is a really sharp scissor. So Clover also makes these great scissors that I've also linked below. You don't have to get both of them, but I wanted to showcase both of them since they're for different applications. And then this isn't necessary, but it is helpful. You can either use some fabric glue, or you can use a hot glue gun. This is my favorite. It's by Ryobi. It's amazing because it's cordless, and it's just a really great glue gun. Okay, so we're going to get started. Again, we are making this pom-pom heart wreath, which is my second most popular tutorial on the blog. I'm so excited to show you today. So before we get started, I like to hone in on my color palette. That gives me a great starting point. And for the original one, I went with more traditional Valentine's colors, so the reds and the pinks and the light pinks. And I was digging through my yarn cabinet, which is right behind me, and I got inspired by this beautiful color palette with the baby pinks and the bright pinks, and then this gorgeous mustard yellow, which has flecks of pinks and dark pinks in there. So these are the colors that we're going to use today, and I wanted to show you a different color story to inspire you to go outside of your own comfort zone. The heart honestly represents Valentine's Day, which is great, but you could do blues, you could do greens, you could do yellows. Honestly, whatever works best for you and your style. So, and the great thing about that is you can keep it up year round, which is really fun. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the pom-poms. I'm going to show you how to make a pom-pom because it's so simple using Clover's pom-pom maker. And I've already made a whole bunch of them, so we can easily assemble the wreath, and you're not watching me make a whole bunch of pom-poms. But the beauty with the pom-pom making process is it is so simple. My daughter and I actually do it together. She's only 8, and she loves making her own pom-poms. I love to put on a good movie and just make a bunch of pom-poms. So today we're going to be using this really beautiful pop of pink for our pom-pom, but again, you can use any color that you want. And we're going to use the larger size pom-pom, but just for reference, these are the two different sizes. This is a smaller size, and then this is the larger size that we're working with today. Okay? So for your pom-pom maker, you're going to take your arm on your pom-pom, and you're going to open it like so, and then you're going to take the yarn, and you're going to use your finger to hold that yarn in place, and you're just going to wrap that yarn around the pom-pom arm. And the reason why I like to do the bulkier weighted yarns is because it makes the process go by, honestly, a lot faster. And you can just let that yarn roll, and you will continue to wrap the yarn around the pom-pom maker, like so. I like to have a really full and consistent yarn arm. I think that gives you your prettiest pom-pom. But it's really up to you and what style you're going after. As you can see here, I'm just wrapping the yarn consistently, evenly around the arm. I'm not staying in one spot too long because I don't want one area to be bulkier than the other. Consistency is key for a really fluffy pom-pom. Okay, so whenever this gets to be about even down here, I think that's a good stopping point. And when you close it, if it feels a little tight, it's perfect. Okay, so you're going to close it, and then you're going to take your really sharp scissors, and you're going to snip that, and then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. So I would love to know if any of y'all have made pom-poms, or I know I did a pom-pom Christmas tree on my live before Christmas, and a lot of you had made pom-poms from that. And if you have any questions on pom-pom making, I've made thousands and thousands of pom-poms, and so I love it, but I'd love to answer any questions you may have on that. And here I'm doing the same thing to the other side of this pom-pom arm. And I know there are a lot of different ways you can make a pom-pom. There's a lot of different pom-pom makers. And in my book, I talk about using a fork. I talk about using toilet paper rolls, really whatever you have on hand. But honestly, this is the easiest and best way, I think, is by using a pom-pom maker. Okay, so I think that that's a good stopping point. And my yarn is kind of tangled up, so I think that's a good area to stop. And here we are going to now cut a piece of yarn. I normally like to cut like 12 inches, just to give you enough to work with. And now we're going to cut along the pom-pom maker guideline, as you can see. And you're just going to slowly cut down the middle, and then do that to the other side, making sure, now this part is very important. You need to make sure that you cut all the way through, because if you don't, it won't make your pom-pom and the arm will not work. Okay, so you're going to do the exact same thing to the other side, and this is why it's important to have really sharp scissors. Wonderful. Okay, so you've got your pom-pom cut all the way through, and now you're going to take that string that you just cut, and you're going to bring it through the area that you just cut, okay? And now you're going to double knot the string really tight, because this is what holds your pom-pom in place. Okay, very simple. Now for my favorite part, we're going to open up the pom-pom and see your really cute pom-pom. So you're going to pull the arms on this side, and then you're going to pull the arm on this side, and now you're going to pull it apart, and there you have it. Look how cute that is. So now you need to give it a trim. And one tip that I love to give is the pom-pom making process and the trimming process can be really messy. So I always have a cute little bowl on standby just to collect the scraps. And all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go around and just trimming it. I don't trim my pom-poms too much because I like them a little bit bigger, but you can get some really cute pom-poms if you just trim and trim and trim. It's really up to whatever look you're after. I just love to have fun with it. And so obviously I'll look for ones that are really sticking out, but for the most part, I keep it pretty full. And especially when you're working with the bulkier yarns, which is what I prefer to do, you don't need to trim a whole lot. Okay, So this is the pom-pom. It's so cute. And so now we're going to add this to our pile, and we're going to start assembling the wreath, which is very simple. Okay, so for this pom-pom, sometimes people like to take off the tails of the pom-pom, this part. If you're going to attach it directly to, let's see, a hat or, I don't know, a gift topper. But for this instance, we're going to keep them on because that is what is going to attach directly to your wreath form. Okay, so let me get my space nice and clean for y'all. And again, if you have any questions, in the description below, I've got the full tutorial for this blog post for this heart pom-pom wreath, as well as I've got all the tools you'll need. And then I've also got my ebook all about making pom-poms. And if you have any questions, that's all linked below. Okay, so I've got my work surface nice and clean. And so now we're going to take the pom-poms that I made. I made these on Friday night, and last night I just had fun with it. And again, I put on a good movie and I just started making pom-poms. So it's as simple as that. I would definitely recommend making your pom-poms first and then assembling your wreath. And as far as this goes on the blog post, I recommended 21 of these large ones and then about 16 of the smaller ones, but it's really up to you. You can just decide what works best for you. Okay, so I've got this wreath form that I picked up from Dollar Tree. It's a heart wreath form, and that's obviously what's going to give it its shape. And so we are going to attach the pom-poms to this side, the curved side of the wreath form, not the back side. I'm sorry, not the concave side, the curved side. Okay? And all we're going to do is we're just going to start attaching them so that we've got a fun heart pom-pom wreath behind us. So when I decide on my placement, I can kind of do a dry fit. I don't really overthink like the pattern because it's all going to work out. I just try not to have the colors bunched up together, the same exact color next to each other. And I will try to go in and out from a large one to a small one to create some fun movement, if that makes sense. So we're going to start here on the top part. I'm going to do this beautiful pink that we just did. And I'm going to use, you can see on this wreath form, we've got the grids going up and down and side to side. And so I'm going to use those to help me attach the pom-pom. So I'm going to attach, and I'm going to tie it from the back of the wreath form. So all I'm going to do is I'm attaching it to the front, and I'm double knotting it to the back, and I'm tying it really tight so that it's secure on your wreath form. And I'm going to attach it, and then I'm going to trim the tails, okay? And so we've got our first pom-pom on here, so cute. It's a little wobbly, and that's why I recommend getting your hot glue gun out, ready to go, just to secure it a little bit more. So you're going to take it on the back side, and you're going to attach the wreath directly, the hot glue directly to the pom-pom, and then just kind of secure it as you go. Don't overthink this step because you can play with the pom-pom, and the way that the yarn works, you can kind of mimic it and let it work for you versus against you. And I did forget to mention before we got started, I always forget to do the wreath hanger, which is crucial. So something to hang the wreath from. And I like to use the yarn. So just pick a yarn that's probably not the bright one. Let's just do this muted pink. And I'm just going to cut probably about 12 inches again. And I'm just going to create a loop on the back for the actual wreath hanger. Okay? And so ideally you would do this before you put any pom-poms on, but all you're going to do is you're going to attach it. You're just going to tie a knot and secure it on both sides so that it holds in place. And it's just a simple loop, nothing crazy. I'm just double knotting it to the back. And so that it stays in place, I'm going to hot glue it again. I've just got a simple loop back here. And can I eliminate the hot glue, Joanne? Great question. So honestly, the way that the yarn works is it kind of likes to flop around a little bit. And so I have tried it without doing hot glue before, and it works, especially if it's going to be stationary like this. But if you think you're going to, take it down each year, I would recommend putting the hot glue on just because it does make it a little bit more secure. But it's really up to you. Okay, we've got the hanger on, very simple. I just did a nice little loop and I added the hot glue. Okay, so now we're gonna continue to attach our pom-poms. Now I'm gonna do a cute little mustard yellow one, and I'm going to butt it up right up against the hot pink one, like so. And I do like to let them kiss each other because you really want them close. You don't want to showcase any of the wire wreath form behind it. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to double knot it. And we're using the wire to hold it on there. And then see, for instance, this one is pretty secure because it's right next to the other one. So I'm not going to hot glue that one. But it's really just up to you and what you're looking for. Okay. The next one, we're going to come down here and we're going to add this really cute fluffy pink one. And here I'm just going to do the middle section and the bottom section, and I'm just going to kind of make sure it's nice and tight in there. And I'm going to attach it onto here, double knotting it in the back, and just really trying to get a nice tight knot so that your pom-pom isn't falling down. And I'm trimming it every time so that you can see. So cute. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just playing with the pattern. And this one I will attach. The larger ones are kind of the sturdier pieces, and they're the ones that the smaller ones are holding on to. So I'm going to make sure that those are nice and secure. And we haven't done this pretty pink one yet. And so for down here, I want to do a nice point, but not overdo it. And so we're going to put that little one down here to make sure that we get our heart point in there. And again, I'm going to attach the bottom ones, the middle, and then the bottom of it. Okay. And you're just going to play with it. Just have fun playing with your placement. Everyone's is going to be a little bit different, but I think these two different sizes are great for this wreath. The size 45 and 65, you can see. And I've still got my hanger there ready to go for you. And then I'm going to do another small one because I really want to make sure that that point is pointed. So we're going to do the yellow one right here, right next to it, just to make sure. So you can see I've got that really fun little point down here, because without that it doesn't really look like a heart, if that makes sense. So we have to make sure that we have that area really targeted. And I'm going to attach it down here, and then I might even hot glue this one in place because I want to make sure that that pom-pom stays there. Okay, so I'm going to hot glue this one in place. I've got it down here, and I'm going to clean up the back of it, and then I'm going to hot glue it right here so that it does stay on point. Okay, you see that? And so now I'm going to put a big one next to it. We'll do this pretty pale pink one right next to both of them. And you'll see as you go along, the height is going to change as you add pom-poms, and that's okay. You want a little bit of movement and fluidity with these pom-poms. And that, I think that adds to the fun dimension of your actual wreath. And you might even notice, like this one, I didn't do a great job of trimming it. You can trim it as you go. It's really up to you. Okay? So we're just going to continue to add some pom-poms. I like these small ones for down here because they kind of nestle in there with it. And what yarn did I use, Joanne? So these are bulkier weight yarns. I found these at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. Yarn Bee is what this hot pink one is called. It's my favorite. I also love Line brand yarn, which you can find at Michael's. They've got some great ones. This is their hometown option. It's a really fun, coarse, bulky yarn. But I prefer to do the heavier, bulky yarns for this because it really makes your pom-pom making really simple and really easy. Okay, you can see it starting to take shape, and you're just going to continue to kiss the pom-poms together, changing out the colors and the sizes as you move along your pom-pom. I wanted to get the hardest part done first because to me that's the point at the top, because honestly that's what most people are going to see first. And so now you can continue to add your pom-poms. Up here I'm going to want to make sure that the top of my heart is exaggerated, because you just want to make sure it looks like a heart. And so I'm going to do a bigger one here instead of a smaller one. But also too, the beauty of this is you can change them up as you go. If you don't like it, you can cut it off. You can make another pom-pom. It's really up to you. Just have fun with that. So you can see it starting to take shape. It's really cute. And I might even pull that down a little bit and just play with it, fluff them out a bit. And I will just continue to add my fun pom-poms. I'm going to continue this side. I started making pom-poms probably about 8 years ago. And once I found Clover's Pom-Pom Maker, it was a game changer because it is so simple and it's so fun. And again, it's linked below if you want to check it out. I loved it so much that I created an ebook all about pom-pom making, which is also in the description below. Pom-pom making is a great beginner-friendly tool. You don't have to have a lot of expertise to get started, and it's also a great craft to do with your kids. So here I'm just attaching them one at a time. I'm not hot gluing these just yet because I might want to move them around as I go. You can see it's starting to take shape. And just having fun with it. That's what it's about, I think, is just having a good time and not overstressing it. Crafting should be fun. It shouldn't be stressful. And if you're not having fun, it's like, what's the point? That's how I look at it. And so I'm just going to continue to add these pom-poms around until I run out. I'm hoping I have enough for the entire wreath. But if not, I can make more. Okay. I'm going to hot glue this one because it's one of the end pieces, and that way it'll keep everything else kind of secure and safe. And I will just continue to add these pom-poms around. And I love making wreaths because I started making them because I think they're really expensive at the stores, big box stores. And they're actually very simple to make, wreaths are. And so I just started making them. And the great thing about that is they're inexpensive and you can customize them to whatever style that you want, whatever colors that you want. It's really up to you. And I just think that's really fun and beautiful. And all you're doing here is you're just dry fitting the pom-poms as you go, and then you are putting them on and cutting them. As you can see, we're making some progress, and it's so exciting. It's so fun and cute. I'm loving this project. Now, the hardest part with this is really just the time it takes to make the actual pom-poms. And it's not that it takes a whole lot of time, but it's tedious, but I think that's super therapeutic and fun. So Joanne, you've never heard that? Yes. So Yarn Bee is the company. They make these really soft yarn, but that's what a lot of Hobby Lobby sells. But then I also get a lot of my yarn from Michaels, and Michaels carries a lot of really fun yarn brands too. So I just say play with it. Whatever your eye goes to, that's what I recommend jumping on. Because if you don't like what you're using, if you don't like the mediums that you're using or the colors that you're using, you're not going to want to finish the project. And so that's why I tend to pick colors that I really like, and you can do whatever you think. Okay, so I will continue to making sure that I'm getting the right sizes here. I'll show you, I'm about halfway done with this. I'm just making sure I've got enough variety. So this yellow one really stands out. So making sure that, look at that. Isn't that turning out so cute? I'm I love that. I think it's really fun. I'm going to add one of these big pink ones. This pink yarn is definitely my favorite. It's really soft and the color is just beautiful. I think you always need a fun pop there, regardless of what colors that you're using. This fun pink pop is what does it for me. Okay, so I will continue to add these in different colors and changing up the sizes. And all we're doing is we're taking the middle section, as you can see, and the outer section. If we're on the outside, then we'll do it on the exterior, and then if we're on the inside, we'll do it on the interior. And we're just attaching the string either from the middle section to the outside or the middle section to the inside, if that makes sense. Okay? And we're just going to continue to add those. And there really is no rhyme or reason about placement and what sizes we're going to use. It's really up to you and what looks good in the moment. But the only thing I will suggest is making sure that you kiss the pom-poms together, because you don't want the wire wreath frame to show through. And on every couple of ones, I'm just attaching some hot glue just to make sure that the wreath stays together whenever you do put it on display. Okay, so I'll continue to add this, and the only thing with the yarn is sometimes it gets itchy. These yarn from cutting the pom-poms, they get a little itchy. So if I'm rubbing my nose, the fibers, that's what I was thinking, the yarn fibers can be a little itchy. Okay, see, it's so cute. It's really coming together. I love this color story. I think it's so fun. That mustard yellow with the pinks is so, so fun. And it's an unexpected twist for Valentine's Day, which I love too. I think that's really cool. Okay, I'm trying to decide which one to do next. We'll just do this one again. I think. Okay. And again, if you put something up there and you don't like it, it doesn't have to be up there forever. You can take it down. You can play with it. Now that you know how to make the pom-poms, you can do whatever, okay? So here, I'm going to push this one. I'm going to kind of manipulate it, and that's the beauty of the yarn. You can kind of push it and hot glue it. And I don't think I did a great job trimming this one, so I'm going to trim it for that, okay? And then I'm going to add this hot pink one again because I just love this one. And the bigger ones obviously go further than the smaller ones, but the smaller ones are crucial because they really fill in the gaps that the bigger ones don't. Okay. Now we're going to add in this yellow one. I want to make sure that the placement, when you're looking at something, because you want your eye to continue to move around whatever you're making, so you try not to put the colors or the sizes too close together. So you can see that yellow, your eye will continue to move around it, because even though it is bigger, it is very obvious because it's the most off from the other ones. You don't want them to be too close together, if that makes sense. Okay. I'm thinking I might have to make some bigger ones, but we'll see. Maybe I can make do. I did not make, so on the blog post I'd mentioned that I was supposed to make 21 large ones and 16 small ones. I think I did the opposite. I made the small ones and then I did the larger ones. I made more small ones because they're a little bit more fun to make because they're easier to make. But again, you can just play with it. So we're coming along. It's pretty exciting. So this one, it might be a little off, so you can kind of move it over a little bit, manipulate it. And I'm going to add one more of this. Actually, I'm going to do the light pink one right here. Or we'll do this pink one here, and then I'll do that light pink one. And it's just, it's really like fitting a puzzle. It's so fun. It is so much fun. And again, don't overthink it. Just have a great time. I think the number one goal is just to have a good time with it. Okay, now I'm going to do this yellow one because it has been a while since we've done a yellow one. And secure it on there, and I'll show y'all what this looks like. Fun, right? So it's starting to look really cute. And if I think this big pink one isn't working, if it's making it look not like a heart, then again, I can take it off and I can try something else with it. So, but I'm just having fun with it. I think we're going to have enough, so I'm going to keep going, and I cannot wait to show you the finished product. Okay. So I added another one in there, and you can still see that really cute heart on the inside too. It's really cute. Okay. We're going to add this big pink one right here. And then we're going to trim it. And I haven't hot glued in a while because I'm still trying to play with, manipulate some of them, and I don't want to secure them permanently just yet. So we're going to add this hot pink one in here. And it is so pretty today. It's the perfect day to craft because it's so cheerful and so sunny. Just really grateful for a great day. Last week on Coffee and Crafting, it was pouring down rain. You never know what you're going to get, especially here in Texas. And this time of the year, it's a little crazy. Okay, so we're here at the middle section. So I'm just finding one, and I'm just going to kind of nestle it in there. I might have to do 2 of them for this one because I just don't want that wire to show through. So you can see I just added one right here, and I think that actually might be enough. And if the wire does show, then you just add another one. That's the great thing with the yarn is you can really push the pom-poms together. Okay? So let's see here. We're going to add this pink one here. And I want to add that there's a big pink one that I have left. And I want that to be the base because I really want that point at the bottom to really extend out. So you can see, let me show you what I'm talking about. So right here, I really want that point to extend out. So I'm going to add that big pink one right here. And then just only on the points, that's where I'm going to hot glue because I don't want those moving. So before I secure this, I'm just going to hot glue it at the base. So you can see, and then I'm going to kind of hold that still, making sure that that stays in its spot. And then I'm going to double knot it. We just want to use the hot glue so that it stays in place. And we're going to double knot it, and then we're going to trim it. And we're going to finish off with this really fun hot pink one. And I think that is all, but let me see what it looks like. I'm so excited. Okay. I might have to hot glue a little bit. Look how cute! I have to take some of these yarn strands. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is. And what you can do is you can kind of fluff up here if you want. But I think that's so cute. You can see the heart here. And back here is where I did the wreath hanger, very simple. If you want, you can add some felted craft, some craft felt, and cover up all of this. But honestly, that doesn't bother me. But, oh, I think it's so cute. I love the colors on it. I love the color story. And I just think it's adorable. And I wanted to say thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this inspires you to make your own pom-poms, to make your own Valentine's Day decorations this year, and just to have fun with it. So again, you can find all the details for this blog post tutorial in the description below. You can find where you can get your tools in the description below. But I thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you here on Facebook next Monday at noon Central Standard Time. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your Monday.